A staple food in many countries, this small white grain is not only a source of life. For many, it is the key to survival. On the island of Mindanao in the Philippines, life in the village of Kalabugao moves to the rhythm of the rice harvests. Rice is the only opportunity for the inhabitants to earn a bit of money.
Sumpay na kinabuhi sa tao diri sa kwan, diri sa among barangay. Ang among bugas diri ang pinakadindot sa tibok kalibutan.
Until fairly recently, bags of rice were transported to the local towns in wagons. It was a never-ending journey. As a result, the farmers started working together, and now a truck transports the produce to the market every 2 weeks. Dodong, with the baseball cap, is the truck driver for the village.
Tabang ko sir kaya aron para madali ang trabaho. Ang sir kanang para mapasang humay nga dili magturok.
Monsoon season is well underway, and on top of all the heavy rain, the air is filled with a stifling humidity level of almost 70%. In 24 hours, the rice will begin to sprout, making it unsellable.
Wait.
This would be disastrous for the village. Lizelle joins Dodong on the journey. She's in charge of negotiating the best price for the rice.
Pilay deduction sa humay. Tapos ako po'y nakabalo sa variety sa humay. Nga ka na siya, ilahi na siya, kay long range na siya rin. Ilahi itong humay ng mga small range na siya rin. Ilahi po itong mga humay ng mga nangadaot. Tapos ako po'y gakwinta o buwan. Sa paraan ng tracking, ako'y nakabalo pila ka kilo ang iyahang karga. Pilay matracking sa iya.
This time, Lizelle has taken a risk. Due to the surrounding humidity level, she's decided to transport 2.5 tons of extra rice, enough to destabilize the old truck and its driver.
Okay raman ang inani pag-drive pero kinanan gyud nga amping gyud sa pag-drive.
The bridge is only 2 years old, but it seems as though it could collapse at any moment. The bridge is an apt symbol for the Philippines itself, a country torn between its growing modernity and its forgotten regions. Situated between Taiwan and Indonesia, the archipelago is comprised of nearly 7,000 islands. In the regions located beyond the tourist trails, the inhabitants are left to fend for themselves. Doing business sometimes seems impossible.
Kayo. Grabing ko na. Sacrifice lang kayo.
These risks are worth the struggle if it means earning lots of money. But even then, the Filipinos need to muster a lot of courage to search for gold 15 meters beneath the surface of these muddy valleys. Smiling and never complaining are their weapons against life's challenges. With the help of a little magic, they endure a bit of pain to come out stronger in the end. Filipinos try to keep their spirits high, although their outdated public transport system is enough to destroy any morale. Some of them never reach their destinations, but even then it's better to laugh about it than to get upset. Like a mammoth trailing after its herd, Dodong and Lizelle's truck does not exceed 10 kilometers an hour.
Kuan to sir kanang Panong tao aglayan, karga tao kanang humay. Tipaka.
A 70-kilometre journey lies ahead. In the best of conditions, it would take them 6 hours, but in the middle of the rainy season, they might never reach their destination.
Kargado kayo.
The truck is loaded with 6 tons of rice, which risk decaying in the rain. The ravine is always close by. In this mud, an abrupt tap on the brakes will send Dodong and Lizelle flying over the edge into a 40-metre drop below.
Kontra pa. Itong niyagin ako sa... Nana ni ato guys, atong niyagin si Mama.
And slow down they will. This vehicle is not broken down. Instead, a much smaller vehicle is blocking the way. This miniature truck is obstructing the traffic flow from both directions.
Very big stone. Stone is very big stone.
Gradually, a large traffic jam begins to form, to this passenger's dismay. In these forgotten regions, the inhabitants use their own trucks as ambulances.
Inaanak mo ni kaya-kaya. Ni, balik lang ko si Perilous. Kalit naman ito nanigpas ang tao dito. Inom. Sibat mga.
He's been waiting for 4 hours and his ordeal is far from over. The front truck's winch is broken. Lizelle is worried about the rice and her family. She and Dodong should have already completed half the journey by now.
Ya, imo po pamilya dito. Nagunahon na po sa imo ha, oy. Nganong wala pa ka-text, wala pa ka-kontak.
Everyone is wondering how the driver could have driven over this enormous stone without seeing it. Even though it seems ridiculous, nobody judges or says anything. Dodong is fully aware that the roads in this country are full of surprises. Sure enough, just a few kilometres later, he also gets stuck in a trap.
Kalubong siya kay na kargahan pagbugat.
Pesal. Para sa danlog, pauga ang danlog. Sa umay.
Dodong and Lizelle are paying the price for overloading their truck by 2.5 tons.
Kabigan na to gamay.
They're now 7 hours late, but Dodong is used to staying calm in stressful situations.
Akadag ka na, sir. Halos kada biyahe.
Getting angry would not help anything.
Atras, Dong!
Kaya itrapo siya.
After an hour, a light appears at the end of the tunnel, or rather 2 truck headlights, which could put an end to their struggle.
Yanap og kahig dire oh.
Mag-hold ko sir kung kuan, nanig may stranded pag yun. Nya ang mga humay nga katong nang gi-action
Ay, ikaw ba ito?
kuan turok. Mas samot pagid siya og turok.
To try to save their cargo, the driver of the yellow truck refuses to give up. Surrendering is not an option, but this time, the broken cable prevents any further attempts to break free. The construction truck goes on its way, leaving Dodong and Lizelle to set up camp.
Paulay na sir kay ginkit mangod pagtrabaho sir. Luoy kay magsige kamlot di kay maklaro ang kuan ng bato. Ugma na lang po buntag sa iyong trabaho. Kaya ning doka na kay si Jul ako ning tulo.
After a few hours of sleep, Dodong quickly gets back to work. The previous night's smiles disappear when they see the amount of mud burying their truck. Dodong and Lizelle are already a day late and their situation seems impossible to get out of. The driver wonders how his luck could have turned so badly. The Filipinos firmly believe that you earn your luck. Many men and women are prepared to cross the country to find theirs. Legend has it that on the island of Luzon, an elderly woman from the village of Buscalan has the power to bring you luck and strength. To reach this village, you have to travel in these strange vehicles. The Filipinos call them jeepneys. After the Second World War, American soldiers abandoned hundreds of jeeps. A clever handyman decided to extend the vehicles and exchange the khaki for a range of vivid colours. This is how public transport was born in the Philippines. Each driver uses his own imagination and sometimes the style can be a little kitsch.
Ini sa taas.
Every inch of the vehicle is used.
Para saan yan?
Paninda.
Paninda.
Kinukunin ako na lahat. Kala na kayo.
With the temperature nearing 30 degrees, it's unlikely that a few ice cubes will keep the products cool. As for the jeepney,
Lubat.
a vehicle problem most often means sore feet.
Perminsalbong ang gulong.
Their destination? The famous village sought after by pilgrims in search of luck. They all cling to their dream of getting there as Johnny the driver predicts a bumpy ride.
Kayong may isawa na ako, inabot ko pa kami dyan, raprod na yung 40 kilometers na yun.
Since the start of the journey, the worn-out shock absorbers are struggling to cope, and indeed, so are the passengers.
Nakataas yung mga pa kasi talagang marami na nangangagat mga baggage. Nangangagat
may be uncomfortable, but this vehicle can go anywhere, which is very practical for the inhabitants who live far away. The road is ruined, but strangely, Johnny does not slow down.
Pag binagalan mo ng takbo rito, matagal na mahaba ang biyahe mo yan.
When he speeds up, he rarely exceeds 30 kilometers an hour, but due to the conditions of some of the roads, the Filipinos are not used to reaching such speed.
Dito minsan, pag masyadong maano yung takbo ng bigla, natakot nga ako. Lalo may kasama akong bako.
To the passengers' dismay, maintaining these roads is not one of the government's priorities.
Pabayaan na lang ng pabayaan. Na ilang taon ba, wala nang biyahe dito.
The bus is now approaching the mystical lands. The village of Bukidnon is not far away. This territory belonged to the feared warrior tribes known as the Kalinga, the Apayo, and the ruthless Butbut. Their specialty lay in beheading their enemies and displaying them as trophies. The last of the headhunting is said to have occurred towards the end of the 1970s. Legend states that the warriors acquired their strength and fighting abilities from supernatural tattoos. Individuals like Bayani hope to improve their luck by getting one of those tattoos. The last remaining mystical tattoo artist of the Philippines lives in these mountains, and there's only one trail that leads to her village.
So nga nakaduti aga po jay Saudi, Mindanao, Visayas. Mamay ditoy.
In today's society, the warriors have become peaceful farmers. Wang Od is over 100 years old. She tattooed the last headhunters from her tribe. Nowadays, the queue for her tattoos just keeps getting longer.
And I've traveled like 14 hours from Cebu, that's in the Visayas region.
Everyone comes in search of a tattoo that will bring them good fortune. A scorpion is said to give strength and protection. Here, the sun and moon are fused together, a promise of good health and vitality. Or a compass which guides your choices in the right direction. Diwata is 28 years old. She's come in search of the scorpion's strength to help her overcome life's challenges.
It's like something in me is, it made me complete.
Bayani refuses to let us film his tattoo. He believes it is too personal. The ink is made from a soot base, and a new needle is used for every new tattoo.
Mansikab lang ay pumisa.
There's no set price. Each individual pays as much as they like. The elderly woman supports the entire village with her craft, but after nearly 100 years, Wang Od is almost ready to retire her needles. Although she has passed on her knowledge to a few disciples, everyone is wondering if the tattoos will conserve their power or if they will become nothing more than simple drawings. After her death, the tattoo artist will continue to be revered. Just like her ancestors, her grave will most likely be placed alongside the banks of this cliff.
Yung pagkuhan ng pagbitin nila sa mga kabaong, yun daw ang purpose nila para mapalapit sila sa langit. Ito yung lumang kaugalian na nagmula pa sa mga sinaunang ninuno namin na ganyan ang paglilibing sa mga susunod na.
They're suspended from the highest point possible to avoid any potential damage. In the past, it was not unusual for the headhunters to look for their trophies in the cemeteries. Every time he comes here, Gerald honours his ancestors with gin and a few cigarettes.
Itong alay na ialay ko sa kanila, ito yung pasasalamat ko sa kanila. Tapos yung pagmamahal nila sa akin, ginagabayan pa rin ako kahit nasa ibang kuwan na sila. Ginagabayan pa rin kami ng mga katribo nila.
Dodong is still stuck in the mud. Right now, he could really use the help of his ancestors or even a scorpion tattoo to bring him strength and protection. But Dodong prefers to rely on his assistant's help, and there's a lot of work to be done.
Pilit kayo ba, kapal kayo. Maning gahit isibirawan ba? Saan gamay na makabangin na?
Dodong and Lizelle are now 24 hours late, and every extra hour on the road puts greater risk on their cargo of rice.
Nadaot man gud og masamot kalangan kanang abtan pag pila ka adlaw. Nadaot ang karga. Na luoy pud ang nagpalit, mapilyor. Magansi.
To prove the severity of their problem, these grains of rice fell from a bag at the back of the truck 2 days before their departure. The seed is already 5 centimetres. If any more moisture seeps into the 6 tons of grain, the cargo will be thrown into the bin. But the Philippines is not nicknamed the land of smiles for nothing. Dodong and his men get their spirits up. Only a bulldozer can get them out of here, so other vehicles try to force their way through. Not a good idea. Now the road is completely blocked. Just like these chickens, a cacophony of struggling engines fills the air.
Kay murag para sigurado.
It's now nearly midday and these powerful steel giants arrive at the scene. Throughout the year, these bulldozers maintain the roads as best they can. They're also used as tow trucks. Due to the state of the roads, the government allows these rescues to happen for free.
Naamon siguro, mga ginagmay lang amot. Pero pahalipay lang sa kanang operator ba. Pero siya ingon nga bayad niya kanang kuan gid siya compulsory dili. Pero pahalipay na lang sa driver.
Dodong and Lizelle still have 40 kilometres to cover before arriving at the market.
Kuan pa niyo sa biri dapit pero. Receive pa mi dapit. Okay. Ganina pa manggut mi buntag ha.
After a few more kilometres of mud, they will reach a tarred national highway. Their ordeal may almost be over, but others are still waiting to be rescued.
Apa tu? Dia wing bawa tu, kadang sama rescue.
Ni guys, balik ako ni. Ha? Naik kapi anak, gatas.
Lupa.
With the sun rising, Dodong has opened the tarp to prevent the bags from getting too humid. They will have spent 24 hours on a meagre 70 kilometres, but their efforts will not have been in vain. Their entire cargo of rice will be sold. For most of the Filipinos living in the countryside, the average income is around 9,000 pesos. That is 150 euros a month. To make a living, you have to be resourceful and courageous, waking up each morning with a dream, striving to get rich in spite of all the risks. To find gold, these individuals are happy to sift through the top layers of sand. Unfortunately, their spades mainly come out empty. A little further on, others are willing to take more serious risks. These gold miners are the only ones of their kind in the world. Hudyong has just spent the last 2 hours filling bags with mud 15 metres below the surface. The well measures just over 1 metre by 1 metre. Being claustrophobic is not an option.
Di pa po tapos. Ang aga pa, hanggang tanghali pa yan.
Hudyong spends approximately 6 hours at the bottom of the well. His mask helps to protect his eyes from the sand. Under the water, he's buried in total darkness. A torch would be of no use to him in this muddy water. The air he breathes is sent to him by this compressor.
Ang buhay namin dito ay pag nawala daw ito. Pag nawala po ito ay hindi na makakahinga, malulunod. Lunod makakainom na yun magutbot.
In the space of 2 hours, the diver fills around 15 bags with mud. They immediately sieve through the mud in search of the precious specks of gold.
Po yan, natagal po yan ng mahigit 1 linggo. Minsan na 1 buwan, imbis na makasakada pa labas, natatabunan yung nasa ilalim.
It is impossible to know exactly how many miners are buried at the bottom of these wells. The work is illegal, so there's no official record, but the police are trying to track them down.
Anong ginagawa sa inyo pag nahuli kayo?
Ha?
Inuuli din ba kayo?
Inuuli din sa
Pinupunasan.
Ay, nagbumulta.
The fine is normally around €300, a fortune. Ironically, the gold would come in handy for that.
Sino lang po ang ginto dito ay hindi na ang puputilan.
On average, these daring miners gather between 1 and 2 grams of gold per day. This amounts to €40, which has to be divided between 6. A devastating gold rush is underway in the Philippines. The country has the 3rd highest gold-bearing potential in the world. The land is saturated with it, and the mines are spreading like wildfire, especially in one of the southern provinces, known as the Compostela Valley. However, instead of sacred pilgrimages, this Compostela Valley is renowned for the sweat and hard work that flows through its mountains. Today, this steel dictator is on a mission and nothing can stop him.
Ay, ano mo ni? Kini karo nakahay. Iyo man sa ko. Diri na sa Mindanao kay Saddam na may tawag ko rin. Istorya nila. Mamaya ginagamit sa una sa gira sa Iraq wa.
Saddam. After Saddam Hussein, the truck was used by the Iraqi army. The Saddam transports the gold miners to one of the most dangerous mines on the island. The road ends here. The Saddam is unable to go any further. The miners must now begin the 2-hour trek up the mountain. On arrival, they receive new chisels which were fabricated on site this very morning. The vein is solid, so the gold can be seen with the naked eye. But this treasure comes at a price. Extracting it is not without risk. During the rainy season, the mine's structure weakens. The rocks are filled with water.
Kuan, live, sani, sugal kinabuhi. Ana. Palatagak mo ni hinay. Ni.
On the surface, the rainfall ravages the mountain and infiltrates all areas of the mine. Aside from a possible collapse, the miners are also afraid of drowning.
Mong balay, mo na magdanan. Nya, kuan mi tubok dire 12.
These men are almost fully self-sufficient. The giant bamboo shoots which grow nearby are used as ovens.
Naman to.
Inside, they feast on chicken marinated in lemongrass. It's enough to warm the hearts and souls of these men, but their break is short-lived. Now they have to carry the bags of soil to a jeep which will take them to the Saddam.
Wanyo, tama gid pagbuan sa kaadlaw yung ani, maka-income ka og 300, 400. So sa isa ka adlaw. May imong bation sa imong kuan lawas kapoy gyud. Tama gid sa imong lawas. Manang may lain makapangita og trabaho, yung nani lang mo kuan.
Each bag weighs around 50 kilos and the jeep is parked a kilometre higher. For each bag they carry up, the miners receive a bonus.
Wala na ko ang gilambar mo na ulo siguro. O kung medyo ko nang kanang tarong ang panahon, sobra 20.
At 60 cents a bag, the bonus is almost not worth the effort put in to get it. Pedro, the young driver, does not like mud. His look clashes with that of the other miners sat beside him.
Gamay malalan daw para makarga ang graba dito sa ubos. Kanira po yung maigo dito. Diyan ang dalan.
He may be a bit of a show-off, but Pedro is right to prefer playing pilot. He earns a little more than the miners, although he's not actually allowed behind the wheel.
Wala pa, speed na ako. Nakadrive ko dali na.
Except if you like to show off, it is better to be an expert in your craft. Otherwise, you may become the laughing stock of the mountain. Even when relieved of all its cargo, Pedro's jeep cannot get through. To prevent the wheels from sliding, the miners agree to give up one of their bags of gold.
Nanlog mo kayo, orang di ka subida. Pabutangan sa ako graba.
The jeep may be filled with gold, but it still can't get out of this mess.
Pero bira dito. Tayo tulog ko lang. Kung di kaya, selain ka.
But nothing is working.
Tuyok. Mana? Dan bubut.
Pedro's boss arrives and he's somewhat annoyed.
Di mo on wait, di ko subida wait. Di juga subida.
Lawan na balang nalangalan lang siya. So very solid.
They now only have to load the sedan, but their problems persist.
Lahat tayo ya, ilisa raw ligid ron. Ilisa gid ako ni. Oh, ilisa ron dire.
Muna siya naigo sa bato, mga hait. Hindi na siya, reject na siya.
Tama gini di hasalan ron. Bantayanan ang kilid ani, tipak. Gapon may bawaan ni og maigo sa haip nga bato. Gisi nga po ni kay kargado manggod.
Lots of effort, lots of problems, lots of stress. The desperate hunt for gold makes these men lose their minds. Abe tries to stay calm.
Sakit sa kuwanay, kay nagkamang pagbantayan sa kilid. Nga estimate sa kuwan. Kaya bantayan na, di ba? Gubaong ginigala na. Kaya gabi man ni Saddam makaguba ko. Pag ma-aksyonin kalubong, gubaong ginigala.
The gold diggers are still far from finishing their work. The entire cargo has to be transferred to another truck that is more able to drive on tarmac roads.
Kapoy na! Kapoy na! Tapos, gutom ba yun? Gutom!
The 7 tons of soil will be washed in a secure location. This time, all their sweat and toil will finally amount to something. Once the washing is complete, the director of the mine will claim almost a kilogram of gold. These miners know that they will never be rich, but it doesn't matter. Their survival is their greatest fortune. Last year, almost 10 men were buried alive in the mines. She may not look it, but this old Jeep is the last hope for some drivers. We rejoin Dodong, the rice transporter. When he has no deliveries to make, he works as a temporary breakdown mechanic. Dodong is the only mechanic in the region who can drive. He's accompanied by his boss, Rumi.
Ako mang tanaw nung sa iya plaster ka daot. You're 13 years old ko siya. Pagkabot na sa kuha, na ako nang gituduan o drive. Ako'y minura na ako'y maestro ni.
The two are on their way to help a broken-down vegetable truck. As with the rice, the cargo risks going off. While they drive around, Dodong and Rumi take a few passengers with them for free. In this region, there is no public transport. But sometimes walking would be less challenging. mechanics reached their destination after 5 hours on the road.
Akadlaw na muna ilaws dire.
Dodong came well prepared. He brought a welding machine with him.
Grabe ho, apil diri pikas. Tao? Grabe yung balik kayo. Abi na ko itong dito. Nadaot. Ang darada isa po.
Unfortunately, welding is not an option. At this level of breakage, Dodong can only patch up the damage enough for the truck to reach the garage where the part will need to be replaced. He's been working for 6 hours. Meanwhile, Rumi's boss spurs him on with some karaoke.
Lisod mga sir kay bikil man trabahoon ng pagtuyok man sa kuan.
Late into the night and lulled by Rumi's melodic voice, Dodong manages to repair the breakage.